One thing queer, one thing queer, one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer. Let's get one thing queer.
Hello and welcome to One Thing Queer. My name is Jenny Baton and my pronouns are they, them.
And I'm Kelsey Wren and my pronouns are she, her.
I said they, them.
I mean, date them.
They, them, no. They, them, no.
That day them though.
That they, them, no.
Do you want to redo it?
No.
Okay, perfect.
It's fine.
What's up?
What's up, friend?
Oh my God, 2 in a day.
2 in a day.
Look at this. That goal-oriented, ready-to-go-ness, though.
I know. So, okay. So we're recording 2 episodes in one day. So you probably listened to our last episode, which was our coming back episode, and we're recording the following week's episode now, just because we missed it so much.
We did, and we have so much to say.
Yeah, we have so much to say about this particular topic. So what are we talking about today, friend?
We are talking about, we're skipping shooting the shit because we just did that.
Yes.
That was last week, y'all.
Yeah.
Nothing has happened in 10 minutes.
No.
So we are talking about your job in life versus your purpose in life.
Yes.
Go figure Instagram. I saw a video on Instagram and it really kind of got to me, and we'll talk about it another time, but things don't usually get to me like that.
Yeah.
But it really got to me. So I want to play it.
Okay.
And we'll just go from there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Maybe your purpose in life isn't related to your job. Maybe your job is your job, and the job is the thing that supports you. And then the rest of your waking hours are devoted to your purpose, whatever that is. If you need to have a job to support yourself, that's great. That's a noble thing to do. You want the stability of being able to take care of yourself in the world, to be free to do whatever your passion is.
There you go.
Okay. And who was that?
It's Rick Rubin's.
Okay.
If I know who, hopefully he doesn't have any crazy scandals, but if I know who he is, right, I believe he's the co-founder of Def Jam.
Okay.
And he's a music producer. He has a lot of hits. I'm probably way underselling it. He's probably way more famous than I'm making it seem. And I didn't know this person. And I don't know, it just really resonated because I was telling you earlier when we were having dinner that the last few weeks have been pretty, in regards to my job, I've been in this different mindset of so for the longest time I was able to do whatever I wanted whenever I wanted because I had a job and jobs that were I made my own hours and everything like that. So for me, for a while, I was on my 90-day probation with this new job, and I'm kind of I'm stuck at a desk for 8 hours, losing my mind. I hate being chained to a desk. I hate it. I don't like it, whatever. But I started to flip that. And it's funny that, because I was thinking about it at work and that video came on, and I was oh, that's kind of something I've already been doing, is flipping this mindset where I've been more thinking about my job. So now I passed my 90 days, so I feel more secure. I'm not going anywhere. They like me. I like them. We're good.
Yeah.
So I feel more secure and I feel happy about it. And I feel like I could finally kind of let myself love the job, because I really do. I'm really, really, really grateful for that position. And I'm grateful for it because I kind of switched my thinking to where I'm not stuck at this place for 8 hours. I kind of made it like an errand in my head. I got to go do this thing for 8 hours. Then I'll be back to my life and do whatever I want and do what I got to do, in my life.
Yeah.
And it feels very much like that now. And I thought about it. I'm so grateful that the place where I got to do this errand at is not so bad. There's far worse situations out there. And I'm incredibly grateful for that position and for just everybody in the office, and everybody's really cool. My boss is really cool, and because I hit my 90 days, everybody's kind of more comfortable joking now.
Yeah.
So we've been laughing a lot more. It's became more fun. I don't know, I just really enjoy it, and I enjoy what I'm doing. It's all stuff I like to do, and I just what better way than to be at this place. This is my little errand for 8 hours, and then I can go do what I want to do. And I like my job, but I don't feel like that's my purpose in life, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm incredibly grateful for that position.
Yeah.
And I know I'm super fortunate for it also.
Yeah.
And I just I want to just talk about your job versus your purpose.
Yeah.
And sometimes those things intertwine and sometimes they don't. And that's totally okay. I've always thought too, my mom's an entrepreneur. My mom owns her own business. She followed her passion. She does what she loves to do, and she's quote unquote retired from it. Like, she spent her life doing what she loves.
Yeah.
And like, I've always like, oh, is that supposed to be me? But maybe it's not. Maybe my purpose is on the side, and I'm able to balance like my work and my life purpose. Because I don't feel like that. I feel like this is more my purpose. I feel like what we do, community, I feel like I haven't even begun to tap in
Yeah. That's
to
how I
like
feel.
that full purpose yet.
Yeah. At least with like the podcast, I 100% agree.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought it was really, I don't know. I just thought it was really nice to hear.
It is.
And it's a really good reminder
Yeah.
to get out of that rat race.
And it just goes to show that everybody has their own journey and everybody has their own ways of kind of going through their life. And I thought it was really interesting that you brought this up during dinner because like, so I've been a freelance makeup artist for 12 years now. And I once upon a time, like, makeup was all I could think about. It was something like, I'm an Aries. I was so passionate about it. And I was like, I want to do this until I die. And like, this makes me so happy. And I never in my life thought I would be at the point where I am now, where I do love my job. I do love doing makeup. I very much do. But I think with a lot of conversations that I've had, a lot of things I've encountered, a lot of things I've experienced in this industry, there's just, it's a lot harder for people of color. It's a lot harder for Black people, trans people, non-binary people, queer people to be in those places of power or like getting the well-paid jobs. Those opportunities don't come as easily. I just had this conversation on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it, but
I did.
I was talking to someone that I assist, and she was asking me if I knew like a props person, and that was BIPOC. And I was like, honestly, I don't know, because most of the time whenever I'm in production, guess what? Majority of the team is white. And so I was like, I genuinely don't know anybody. And she's like, it's so odd. Like, I've been at certain jobs and a lot of them have been asking for BIPOC folks. And she's white. And we just had this conversation, and I actually like responded to it. I'm going to pull it up because I'm pretty happy with my response. And my response was, I mean, it says a lot about the bigger problem. The fact that they have to go out and try to find POC shows that this is a systematic problem, and it continues to be. They are hiring people that they know, therefore it's other white people. So now all that there is white people. BIPOC people are in production, but systemically they are not being hired by well-paid companies. They're taking scrap jobs even if they've been in the industry for the same amount of time. It's really interesting that now an effort, in quotes, is trying to be made simply because they want to be a, in quotes, more woke company. Says a lot about the core issue. And I've seen this like day in, day out. This person that I assist, she and I worked at Mac together. We have she maybe has 2 years on top of me. So maybe like 14 years. And she went to cosmetology school. She's signed to an agency, and there's a few people I assist. All of them are white. All of them are signed to agencies, and they work with their friends. Like their friends are the directors, the photographers, the producers of all these shoots. And then, you go on their social medias, and what do you see all over? You just see that all their friends are white. So that's where it stems from, unfortunately. And so that sense of my industry in particular has really kind of put a damper on like the goals that I've had with being a makeup artist. And like I once upon a time wanted to be signed to an agency. And it's just, I have to work a lot harder. I've always worked a lot harder than everybody around me. And it was always because I felt like I had to prove myself. when I worked at Mac, I was a freelancer. So I technically didn't have a goal. I simply just helped the permanent employees there to make their goal. And I would be the one cleaning. I would be the one like selling the most, and they would be getting the credit. And there's jobs that I do. I work with really great companies. I've worked with really exciting companies, but unfortunately, sometimes like I can't even get credit for it because I assisted. And sometimes it's like I do have to work.
Yeah.
And so there's like those things have just put a damper on like that part of my passion, because I'm like, yes, I have been successful with what I do, but I am not where I thought I'd be at this point. And I do feel like a part of it is because of that.
Yeah.
So my purpose for me, when I started my spiritual awakening, that felt good to me, and I did that for me. And I was just, I mean, now I'm still super passionate about it. And now like my ultimate goal, like I don't want to do makeup until I'm 65. It's very, very taxing on your body. And I love doing tarot. I love doing Reiki, and I want to learn more things. I want to enhance my abilities to help people. And that to me has become my purpose. And my goal is to make my purpose my job one day. And so I think that's where it differentiates.
Yeah.
But there is a part of me that is scared that the same thing will happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you've kind of carved out like how to navigate through that though. And I think you're much more aware of like, oh, this is not feeling good anymore. I need to change something.
Yeah.
To maybe, and because it's your own business, you are in control of that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, unfortunately, the overnight change of companies hiring BIPOC people and queer people, I mean, I wish it was overnight that it would change, but it's not going to be, unfortunately.
No.
Like, you know, but in your own circle, you totally have that. So maybe, like you were talking about, like having a business, even you need employees or you need helpers or you need fellow collaborators. That's fully your choice. And like, what a freaking cool power that is to be able to like
that.
to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's really cool.
That's true, friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. So it's like different than you.
Yeah, but that's fine.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Like there's so many different ways people can kind of go about it. And I feel like having a purpose, like the concept of having a purpose in life can sometimes be like so simple too. Yeah. Like sometimes I think people get discouraged because it's like they feel like they're not doing something like magnificent.
It's not a grand purpose.
Yeah, it's not a grand purpose, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's like something I definitely want to calculate or like definitely want to like highlight. It's okay if your purpose in life today is to just get up from bed. Because I know those days.
And it's okay if your greater purpose is like, you know, you are meant to be this person who is a caregiver for this purpose. Like that's whatever your soul contract was when you decided.
Yes.
That's okay. Also, that is a very like selfless act and very noble to like give of yourself to make sure somebody else is okay in this world. Like that's a big deal too. Like, you know.
Do you think that you could have different purposes throughout your life?
Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think that's like, wow.
I know I stimulated your
You
Gemini
did.
moon.
You sure did. I'm like,
Geminis
wow.
love their questions.
God, I love questions. I don't always want to give answers, but I love the questions. But no, I love things that make you think like that. And that's something we were just talking about, is that like a lot of this like stuff I keep inside because I don't want people to know what's inside. But I feel like a lot of these weird thoughts that I'm gonna we're gonna start bringing to the table because it's just something to think about. And I feel like that's my purpose. Not that no one else has ever thought about this, but I feel like I have a very specific way in the way that I relay that message. And I want to talk about those things. I have some other ideas also, but like this one specifically, like also like, so we're talking about your purpose sometimes different than your job, and maybe sometimes intertwined, and maybe sometimes as your job changes, your purpose changes. But like, how do we go about finding our purpose is
Yeah.
more like kind of like what I want to get into too. Is like, for me, I feel like finding it is you try new things.
Yeah.
Yeah, try new things. What are you laughing at?
I'm not laughing.
You're smiling.
No, because you're right.
No, I feel like that. And I feel like I'm personally in this era of like, I want to try new things. Like I was talking about going to like a roller derby like meetup because I want to try it. I want to see what it looks like. And maybe that is a doorway to something else that I don't know about. Like, you know, and even like with my job, the person that who left, who trained me, who I replaced, is also a Gemini moon. And we've kind of become friends. And like, we've hung out and like we went to go see Flashdance in theaters. Like it was really cool, and I would have never known unless she told me.
Yeah.
And like same thing with Derby, I would have never known unless she told me. Like I just am really liking these connections that are like so interesting to me. Things have been like the last few months, things have been so obviously lined up with stuff that I just can't like, I can't. There's no way that I could be like, this doesn't exist, universe.
Yeah.
Like, so much stuff is lining up. And even like just the new clarity of like this and purpose and just a new way about job. Because I'm a Capricorn, I'll say it. And like, we could be very hard on ourselves and we could be very in the materialistic, like in the
Human world.
human reality, facts, like
The construct.
yes, we can be really, I mean, we are very good slaves of the construct, like for sure. We could really be into the grind and be fine with it, be happy about it. That's
Yeah.
the problem. But I just want more.
Yeah.
I'm at a point where like, I want more, like I want to do extra things. I want to, just experience stuff. And it's so funny because when I was a kid, I would always be like, how do people get to the point where they start experiencing life? What choice? Because I would always just want to stay inside and do my own little thing and be my little cocoon and whatever. I'm like, how do people get that? And I get it now. Like, I'm like, oh, we evolve.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I feel like recently, I think I've felt it collectively. Yeah. I feel like a lot of us have shifted in a lot of ways. And I see it with you and me. And maybe for some of you, this might resonate, but like, I feel a lot more grounded, like overall, like maybe not day to day. Like yesterday I had a very ungrounded day because I was on the phone with the IRS and it was just like my security, like my root chakra was like all over the place. Like my legs felt weak. And but overall, like thinking back on it, like, and I haven't really done anything differently besides change my mindset. And I feel very like secure and accepting of things that happen.
Yeah.
Even if it's things that don't feel like comfortable, I accept them a lot easier now. I don't know where I was going with that, but
I feel like accept them, but like also not go with the flow, but very much more in the sense like I can handle anything that's coming my way.
pivot. Pivot is the word.
Yeah, and I can, because I feel this too, that like I am so much more confident in like how I'm gonna deal with anything that comes my way, and know that I have my own back, and like that's what matters most. And I feel like you feel that way too, and like also like holding on to the people and I guess our like relationships that foster that that idea as well. That's like, oh yeah, you're gonna do, like, I think we both hype each other up like that. Like, no, you got this. You're gonna do what you gotta do. And if you don't got it, you will have it.
Yeah.
If you don't got it right now, you will.
Yeah.
And I think that's like what I want to put energy into.
Agreed.
Yeah, energy. And I think a lot more because like, I mean, if you've listened to the episodes before we were like taking a break, it was very like, I know that I was very like, ugh, life sucks. I hate this. I hate life right now.
Isn't it crazy that it was just like a few months ago? And like, I mean, I feel you.
It feels like a year ago though.
It does.
It feels so long ago.
It does.
Yeah, but I remember like talking like every week, like, still going through it. But like, I feel different now. I feel like so much, like a lot has happened, but I also feel like it's a shift, like something, whatever that vice grip was, let go.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like, I don't know, like celestial or if it's like planetary, whatever that vice grip is has let go, and it's really nice to feel on top of that now. And like,
Yeah, is the Wheel of Fortune, friend.
I know.
It's the Wheel of Fortune. There's ups and downs, and then also the Death card popped up.
Oh yeah.
The Death card, like ending and then new beginnings.
Yeah.
Ending a part of your life and beginning a new part of your life. And that's literally just life for like ever.
The Death card is a Scorpio card too, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you know that.
Yeah. And that's just life. Like the Wheel of Fortune in tarot, it's the imagery is all about like ups and downs. There's people on the top, there's people on the bottom, and we all have cycles that go up and down. And that's the whole purpose of life.
I think also with purpose and your own personal purpose, it's also doing the work of like putting in the work to put into yourself.
Yes.
And that I think is a huge difference now too, is like a putting in the time and energy to be aware of how you're going to go about things, or be aware of your feelings in those situations. That I feel is something different too, because I don't feel so scatterbrained, or like I don't feel like I'm being pushed around anymore in my emotions, if that makes sense. Like I feel much more in control. And I think that's a big thing too, is that when we like learn to control them, we can't let, like, nobody can push us around anymore. And that's been a huge thing with me too, is like I feel like, oh no, I got this. I will be the one who controls my feelings, because I don't know if Gemini moons feel this, but I've explained this before, that like I could be having a great day and then one thought pops in my head.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I like to call it like, it's like Spider-Man. You know, Spider-Man like slings out his like webs, but it's like a sling out web down a hole.
Yeah.
And you like swing out and pull down, and like you just keep going down, down, down with those thoughts.
Oh yeah. I've seen it firsthand with my partner.
Yeah. So that to me, because like we're Gemini moons, we're much more intellectual about our emotions. So like we think thoughts that make us feel things instead of feeling those things first. So,
And it's not that you don't feel them.
of course,
You feel them.
oh no.
But the thing is, like, you feel them plus you analyze them.
Yes.
And that's where, like, it's the balance between analyzing them and feeling them.
Yes. The analyzing will drive you mad.
Yeah.
Because it is, you want to find the why. And the why is, and not only that, it's twins. So you're talking to yourself in your head about the entire situation until someone kind of snaps you out of it. Like, we definitely need that snap out, because sometimes we can't get out of it on our own. Like I personally sometimes can't get out of it on my own. I'm like, I'm in this hole. Somebody throw me a line. I can't get out.
Yeah.
And then I'll get snapped out however.
Yeah.
But that's like having more control of that, and knowing before like I said, one thought can like ruin an entire day. But like having control, like, okay, you had that thought. Let's think about this. Is this a rational thought? Is it like, what's going more to what, I guess that's more like shadow work too, is like going more to what the root of that is, has been really, and I think that's helpful in finding your purpose too, because it just clears up your mind for more space. When I get rid of those thoughts, I have more space in my brain and more energy to do other things, to want to try other things, you know?
Yeah. I think when you're doing shadow work, I mean, you work with your inner child a lot. And think about like when you were a kid.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you're just absorbing all this information, and you don't really know what you want to do with your life. And you're like, oh, I like doing this and I like doing that. And then you like start, playing around. And when you get back into shadow work, what you allow to happen is bringing out your inner child. And then another thing I wanted to emphasize, it's like, also, it's okay if you do have moments where there's that disconnect. It's okay if there's moments where you just can't do that like self-help analysis for yourself. And if, one day you just have to like be with yourself and just process things, take the time to process them on your own, and just like be easy on yourself is what I really want to emphasize. Because sometimes I feel like we're like, oh, like we have to get out of it, but it's okay. We all have those moments. Yeah. And it's okay I have those moments. Like, I'm an energy healer. I do the work and things like that, but I still have human moments. Yeah. I have human moments all the time. I'm a human being. Like, I'm not this like, perfect person. Like, and I have off days, and some days like I want to do my spiritual work and some days I don't, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm talking a big game right now because I feel great.
Yeah.
But like, no, there's still days where it's like, ugh, this was a bad day. But like, I feel like the overall, like you're talking about, the overall mental clarity is much more greater. And I feel like that vice grip feels alleviated.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is. And I also, there's just, it's not like I've been doing anything in particular for like shadow work, but it's just being more aware of like triggers or like, hey, I know that if I watch this video, you're probably not going to be happy afterwards. So maybe we just don't do that. Like, and just stopping myself from being there and like getting outside. I haven't, outside has been like super important lately too. I've been trying to like, let me just breathe fresh air instead of breathing my house air for a little bit.
I think the difference between us 3 months ago and now, I feel like we're more present.
Yeah.
I feel a lot more present.
Right.
And I feel like even colors are brighter. I feel more alive than ever
Yeah. And it feels like I'm not watching my life anymore.
as a third person.
Yeah.
I agree.
Doesn't it? It's so weird.
I think we shifted paradigms or dimensions or whatever.
Something, but it doesn't feel like it. God.
Excuse my chair. Sorry.
The last year felt so like I'm watching this person go through this life.
Yeah. It's like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. Or I'm like watching. Exactly. I'm not in my body. And I've said that a lot. Like I'm not present. I don't feel grounded. I feel really grounded, which is not like super easy for me just because I am so freaking earth signy.
Yes.
But I feel like I have the control, like, how do I explain this? I feel like I don't have the controller, but I am in the game.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So like before I'm like, oh, let me just move this person, beep, 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 you go to work, beep, 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 you come home.
Yeah.
And like there's no other thing to it. But now I feel like, oh, I'm in
it.
I'm in the driver's seat in my head. Like,
Look at us go.
I know.
This is such a deep conversation. Don't y'all feel so lucky?
We got all our sillies out in the last episode.
Yeah.
That's why
Now we got serious.
we're able to clearly think and talk now.
We're coming down.
Oh yeah, that off switch is gonna hit pretty soon.
Yeah. I mean, mine too. But
Yeah.
I mean, I really like this conversation though, because it's like, I'm sure this is something that y'all probably think about. Maybe if you don't, maybe it sparks something within you.
Yeah.
To maybe, I don't know, encourage you to be more present or be easy on yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be, everything is okay for you.
And it's okay if you don't have the time to like even sparse out those two things as well. Like
Exactly.
it's not like, I mean, I said, I'm talking a big game now. I have shit figured out right now.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what's gonna happen next week, but like I feel like I'm more ready to be like, oh, okay, that's happening, and now I can like, okay, let's really like feel this and
Yeah.
figure it out. And like that's it too, is I've been feeling a lot more than I don't push it down. So like even though I am like an air moon, like I feel like a lot of times when people are like not water signs and they don't show as much emotion, it's because the emotion is also so intense that we just disconnect. Also the
Dissociating.
exactly. With like all my Capricorn placements, I'm incredibly good at like, oh, this emotion is happening. Let me just stick this in a box and throw it to the back of my brain because I do not want to feel that because it's going to hurt too much.
I mean,
like,
it's trauma.
Oh.
It's a trauma response.
of course it is.
And what I do want to say is that we are all humans, so therefore we all have emotions. Therefore we all deal with our emotions differently. We all heal differently. We all do things differently, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's something I definitely want to emphasize, even for myself, because I did find myself like I love feeling things, and like my partner is also a Gemini moon, and like they also dissociate. And so that was like something I was like, I guess seeing it firsthand, being with somebody who dissociates or like has to analyze those emotions. Like I had to understand them to really appreciate that part of them. And now I very much do. And I respect it too, because like I just like go based off of instinct, but like it doesn't mean that they're not emotional to me. Like before I used to think that, but they are emotional.
Yeah.
It's just we all manage it differently.
Oh yeah. And for me, even like with like the Capricorn stuff, like mine sometimes are like so strong that I have to disassociate, or else I'll just be a fucking mess constantly. Like I'll be in tears all the time because like I am that sensitive. Like I am hard shell Capricorn, but I'm very incredibly sensitive on the inside. Incredibly. And that's the difference about 3 months ago. I would have never admitted that 3 months ago, but I will now because I am. Like, I'm so sensitive that I don't listen to certain music because I know it's going to make me cry constantly. Because it just will, because I am that sensitive. But I also, because I am that sensitive, I can, like, I'm going to disassociate, and Capricorns are the like the king and queens of not what do I say, of disconnect.
Yeah, it's very much like Queen of Swords energy to
Yeah.
me.
It's very disconnect-y. And it's like, if I want to disconnect you, I will ghost you. Like,
Yeah.
and not have a second thought about it. And that's how it is with emotions too. So
Yeah.
like it's a balance.
We all cry. We all cry, some more than others. But we all feel things. Like, pinch yourself. If you're a human being, pinch yourself. Do you feel something? Mm-hmm. I'm sure you do.
Yeah, but the Gemini's gonna be like, why did I pinch myself? Just kidding.
No, that's your Capricorn. Why would I do that?
Why would I do that? What's that?
I don't like feeling pain. I'm mushy inside.
Yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to like talk about that, and let's talk about, I said talk about a lot. Our job versus our life purpose. And again, like, how do we find that purpose? I feel like we just try things.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you try things and they don't work out.
Exactly.
Definitely okay. I might go to that derby thing and be like, oh, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And that's cool, but I will not wonder about it anymore. I'll be like, oh, okay, I looked at it and it's probably not for me, or I'm like so super stoked to go now. Like,
But you'll never know if you don't go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like part of my purpose is this.
Yeah. And I mean, it goes back full circle. It goes back to me putting myself out there when I was trying to find a co-host. This would not have happened if I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And I contemplated. I was like, maybe I'll just do this on my own. And I was like, nah. And then I was like, I'm just going to post it and see what happens.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
I know.
here we are almost 2 years later.
It's so funny when I think of stuff, like so many things aligned for that. Like, no offense, but why was I still following you?
I don't know. I know I stopped following you and you still followed me. And now look at us. You were my manager, and now you're my sister.
Yeah, all the time. I'm like, why am I still following? I'm like, oh, because I don't delete. I don't know. I'm like, oh, and also you were moving, and I remember when you moved to San Francisco, and I was like, oh, like we don't talk, but I'm like, you get out there and go. That's awesome. Like, wow, I've never moved to a new city. Cool. Like, at least not one that wasn't within a 30-minute radius. You know?
Yeah.
And just like, I'm really glad, and like. Also, saying yes to things, which was my goal. And like, that was part of that. I was like, anything that's good that's happened in the last few years is because I said yes. And I don't know why I just haven't learned my lesson about just saying yes.
Friend, you need to watch Yes Man. Just for the heck of it.
I think, oh no, I haven't seen it.
You have to watch it. Please watch it.
Okay.
Because it's so funny. Like, you're going to laugh because of what you're saying.
Oh God. Great.
It's literally about that.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's just been, I don't know.
It's stimulating your mind. Well, I hope this topic stimulated people's minds and really got you thinking about it and just not stressing out too much about it and just feeling it out and like really listening to what you are passionate about and like what you want to do with your life.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, okay. That's it too, is that like, so I know that sometimes when I hear things like this, it like really, it kind of puts me in a down mood because I'm like, what is mine? And I kind of freak and like, oh, I should have something grand. That's not the case here. Like, the reason I wanted to talk about it is because like, I've heard that from people, and in the past I've been like that, but now I'm like, hey, it kind of got me thinking, and not in a bad way, like, oh, I need to go get out there and do this and what, not like that. It's like, oh, I need to be on the lookout, kind of like, I want to find out what kind of makes me happy in my life. What, like, yeah, I do my errand for 8 hours a day, but like, what makes life fun and what makes life worth being here after that.
Yes.
After that time period of the day, what do I enjoy doing? What, just really tuning into that and like, oh, so it could be something little as like, I love my cross stitch and I like making little patterns and like it brings me joy. In something with my hands, fidgety, Gemini moon, if you know anything about that.
I sure
I've
do.
been playing with the Zesty card case the entire time because I'm fidgety. But like, it doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be what makes you happy, I think.
Yeah. And that's a beautiful message
Yeah.
to end on.
Oh my God.
I love this.
Yay.
Good
Back.
job, friend.
Thanks.
I love this topic.
Me too.
And we have like more, we've been getting downloads mainly you, for episodes. And also we have some guests, in the works. So also like if you want to be a part of the podcast, you found it and you want to share your story, please reach out to us.
Yeah.
And we would love to have you.
Yeah, definitely.
So
All
we'll
right.
do socials.
So shiz. I think I remember this time. All right. Please follow us on Instagram. It's One Thing Queer. And my personal Instagram is SpexRayX.
And my personal Instagram is at Jenny Lynn Bouton. And if you would like to follow my spiritual page where I do tarot and Reiki, it is at celestiallightwitch.com.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. At Celestial Light Witch. And my website is at celestialwitch.com. I do have a couple markets coming up in the next month. My next one, I believe, is Brujita Market. So I will be at Brujita Market July 15th, and it's going to be in the Arts District in LA. So if you want to have a little reading with me in person, I will be there. So please come on over. There's going to be a bunch of amazing vendors, and I'm going to have another one in August. I think I have 2 in July actually, but I'll keep y'all posted. And yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
all I got.
if you have any questions or topics you want to talk about or anything at all, email us at onethingqueer@gmail.com. And we got a TikTok. It's One Thing Queer Podcast. We've been saying for like a year we'll put stuff on there.
I think it's been over.
We don't gotta say that out loud. But if you want to follow it, there's still really funny ones on there.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll make some content.
I mean, we can try.
Maybe one day.
But yeah, it's there. It's there if y'all want.
Yeah. I mean, we have like 500 or 600 followers on there.
I mean, I don't know about anymore, but anyways.
Anywho, okay. I guess that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of One Thing Queer. Make sure to tune in next Tuesday for a whole new show.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Music by Jacody Lamone. Produced by Kelsey Wren and Jenny Baton. Edited by Jenny Baton.